I do think that there's obviously something there. I just don't think that the combination of what the Rockets are rolling with right now is championship caliber. I do think that it's early rounds of the playoffs worthy right now, and assuming they don't make some huge swing or Fred VanVleet comes back or they figure something out here. I don't know exactly what they could do to up that, but right now I think it's very, very real that the Rockets' ceiling right now is that second round I think at best.
That's their ceiling. Yeah, you can't see them get past. Text line coming, the Rockets are going to get eliminated by the Warriors again. Okay, I don't know about that.
That'd be a tough one to stomach. But
Jimmy out for the year. I don't know about that one. Well, Tyler, you're going to the game or not going to the game tonight? Seeing them play the Clippers first time this year. Real or fake? They're ceiling the place where you see that's the highest the Rockets can go. Excuse me. Real or fake is the second round.
I'm gonna say fake. Primarily and only because of the simple fact that you do have Kevin Durant on this team, and he's one of the biggest superstars we've ever seen on the court, and he can take you places. So I'm going to say fake.
Yeah, right now the Thunder and the Spurs are 1 and 2 in the West, and then the Nuggets are the third seed in the West. James Harden went ahead and tracked them down last night. It was able to get a road win in Denver against the Nuggets. And then the Rockets are in the 4th spot with the Lakers and the Timberwolves behind them there. And to get past the second round, which to get to the conference finals, like you're going to have to beat one of those Denver, Spurs, Thunder. Unless you go past them, I don't know, they're not that far behind the Nuggets, but even so, to get that, you've got to beat one of those teams. And in a 7-game series, I hear what Tyler's saying. That they could get hot. Could they get hot? I just can't see them in 7 games winning a series against the Nuggets, Spurs, or Thunder.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Like right now, I would favor them to beat the Lakers right now. Hell, LeBron said yesterday, we're not a championship team. I can see that. I wouldn't love the Timberwolves matchup. I could see that, but then the next round, if seeds held, they'd have to face the Thunder.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that. So I'm with you. I think the ceiling is the second round right now for the Rockets. Real or fake, Tyler? The Texans should open up as favorites to win the AFC South. Real or fake? Jags won it last year, but they will have the first place schedule.
Some tough happenings, obviously, right now in town for the football team, but I'm going to say real. Because the AFC South is indeed garbage. And the way Vegas works, the Houston Texans, knowing that on the defensive side of the ball right now, I'm going to say real because you also know the other reason.
Yeah, I know how you don't feel about the Jags. I'm going to say real, but I don't agree. I don't think the South sucks. I think the Jags are good. I think obviously the Texans, we'll see what's happening with the Colts, but I mean they start off 8-1. To start the season. I think Tennessee's got a chance to be really improved next year. So I don't think the South sucks. I would say right now, with their defense, that's the most sure thing. I know Trevor came on and that offense, their defense, that's the most sure thing. So, and they've got a second place schedule. I would go there. It's close, but I would say the Texans should be the favorites. You real or fake? Real.
I'm going to go fake.
Really?
I'm going to go fake. I think the world, the NFL world, is significantly more convinced that the Jacksonville Jaguars team is a better overall team than the Houston Texans. I just think.
So you're a believer in the Jags?
Well, maybe I'm not necessarily a believer in the Jags as much as I am, a believer that the country saw something that's going to be hard to forget in this offense. Like, it's going to be very difficult for them. I mean, you're talking about, the Jags. You can look at that and you can talk about the season. You can talk about the run. You can talk about the first-year coach. You can talk about Trevor Lawrence being an MVP caliber candidate. There's a lot of that you can kind of hang your hat on. The defense was great early and then really good late. Had a little lull in the middle, but the defense not on the same playing field as the Texans.
you feel a lot about Trevor's finish, even though he threw an interception to kind of end the game against Buffalo. Yeah. But he took him down and gave him the lead late in the fourth quarter, so you can feel better about Trevor.
I think the world saw something that's going to be very difficult for them to forget, and the ones that watch closely know it started against Pittsburgh, and then it obviously come to true fruition and imploded against New England, and so I think that's going to be tough to forget. So I think it's fake. I don't think the Texans should open as favorites in the AFC South.
All right, coming back to you again, Clint. The Patriots fans should be concerned about Drake May following his playoff run.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you talk about as many times as he got hit, as many times as he put the ball on the ground or put the ball overall in harm's way, whether it was a fumble or an interception. I mean, I think they are in a very similar position right now as the Texans are and obviously they were really good. He's an MVP caliber candidate, and they were one of the more explosive offenses throughout the year. But I think they're in a position, Ron, where you can look at the regular season run and maybe overlook some of the playoff stuff. The warts that came up with Drake May. I think that would be a bad way to look at it. Just like with the Texans, you can look at the Texans and go, "Hey man, they won 10 straight games." Yeah, and you can build a case to, man, hey, CJ's going to be fine. But then you're overlooking or minimizing what went on in the playoffs, which is these are both franchises that everything they do should be geared on what happens and what they do in the playoffs. And so I think they're in a similar position. Drake May and really the offense as a whole, didn't play well for either team. The quarterback stunk it up. CJ significantly, I think significantly more, but the point still I think exists that you've got to be concerned about your offense and whether Drake May is a great fit and can replicate what he does versus lesser talent, lesser opponents when the stage is bigger, the lights are brighter. You're going to find out. That Patriots schedule next year is for real. Yeah, so you're going to find out.
Yeah. They even got some teams that ain't even on their first place schedule that just slid in there this year.
Yeah, so I think it's real, Ron.
Tyler, real or fake, Patriots fans should be concerned about Drake May following this playoff run to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to say fake, though, for a lot of the same reasons. He's young. I mean, he got you there. He was the youngest quarterback to ever reach that big stage, right? I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. Just need to see him come out firing next season.
Yeah. Whew. It was bad.
Rough.
It never recovered. And I think some of it was around him, but I'm concerned that guy finished second in the MVP, and I mean never, ever really looked like it in four games. Just never really looked like it, and I've got concerns of what we just watched with CJ. Is the pressure that happened late in that season, is that going to be something that affects him next year, affects him moving forward? That part, because he didn't feel the rush well. He didn't he was out there just letting himself get drilled as much as he was getting.
Well, Ron, but there's just I'll go back to when your quarterback snaps the football and has no idea where the pressure's coming from. It's one thing to not have a plan and not know, hey, I got a receiver looking at me or I got an outlet. When he snaps the football and he is completely surprised by where the pressure's coming and the fact that there's free runners, you've got problems offensively, right? It's not like we can't sit here and with CJ and Drake May go, oh, boy, pressure just gets to him. It doesn't get to him. No, it gets to all quarterbacks. It gets there. Pressure's effective. The scary part when you're talking about concern for the next year and concern for the fit of your quarterback, the scary part is when your quarterback's snapping the football and he has no idea where the pressure's coming from. There's a difference in snapping the football, knowing where the pressure's coming from, and choosing to hold the football and take a hit in the face right as I deliver a football, then snapping the ball and head on a swivel looking at where's the free defender coming and then trying to take off running. There's a huge difference in that. I think I saw that in CJ at times, and I think I saw it from Drake May definitely in the Super Bowl.
You would think your quarterback in his second season just led you to a Super Bowl and finished second in the MVP by one vote. You'd be feeling real great moving into it. I don't know if they feel the way his resume sounds.